As an author, you never know when inspiration might strike. Well, a group of political memes did just that for Andrew Shaffer and resulted in a series of books featuring Barack Obama and Joe Biden as the ultimate crime-fighting duo. Andrew joins us this morning. Welcome, Andrew. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Natalie. Thanks for having me.
Well, I am excited to chat with you. I've actually had this book on my desk for a while, and people just stop and stare because it's actually Barack Obama, Joe Biden trying to go up a helicopter. Explain how this all came together, how you were able to get this inspiration and now turn this into books.
Yeah, I mean, you don't just start with Obama dangling out of a helicopter on a ladder. The books really started with the Obama-Biden memes, where you had them palling around together in the White House, and they were hanging out at basketball games, and they looked like they were the best of friends. And people would caption them with funny captions, like Obama would be like, "Joe, put away the laser pointer." You just imagine they had this playful sort of junior high school almost relationship. And I wanted to make that real, or at least real in a fictional sense. So I brought them together as crime fighters, which sounds strange at first, but it really harkens back to the first bromance in literature, which was Sherlock and Watson. So that was sort of my model for these books, and it turned out to be a series now.
I love that you talk about the bromance right there. I'm curious, do you know if either one of these guys know about this series of books?
Well, the funny thing is I heard that they both have copies of the books, and in fact, Joe was in Kentucky last year, which is where I live, and his people said, "Hey, he wants to meet with you," and I said, "Okay, I know, I was a little nervous." And they put me like front row at one of his rallies that he was doing for the midterms. And he came right off stage afterwards and he said, "You wrote that book about me?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Great job, I loved it. I said, "Oh, that means so much to me that you read it." And he goes, "I didn't read it, but I love it." So, he's honest, if nothing
He's honest. Well, I'm curious because right now, unfortunately, we live in such a divided country right now, it seems, politically. So what do you want to tell people, as some people who are supporters of Barack Obama and Joe Biden versus people who are not? Does this play to a certain political side of things, or how were you able to make this a book that everybody can enjoy no matter what side of the aisle you're on?
Yeah, well, first off, there's not much politics in the books, which sounds strange, but you have to remember this is really a book about friendship, and they're solving crimes together, and there's just not a lot of time for politics when you're solving crimes. And secondly, I've had a lot of people on the sort of conservative side of the aisle pick up the books and enjoy them. They might not really care for the main characters, but they go, "Oh, we'll stick around because the mystery's good." And so that really means a lot to me, that the books sort of have crossed over, and they've really gone beyond just being liberal fan fiction.
I like that. I like that everyone can enjoy it. You talked about the storyline there. So where do we go from here? In closing, we've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, right now it all depends on what happens with Joe Biden. And I said, the third book is probably called right now, I hope there's a third book. So, I don't know, but if readers want to get a hold of the books, they can just Google Hope Rides Again or go to Quirkbooks.com.
Awesome. Andrew, it's been a treat to talk with you. I really appreciate your time today. And of course, you can pick up the book for yourself, Hope Rides Again. Thanks again.